Today we're going to be doing a trial of the Craftmade PIccolo ceiling fans in the hallway. What I want to find out over the course of the next few days, particularly at night when it gets cold, is how effective is this? I have no idea what to expect. This could be a game-changing installation, or it could be totally ineffective. I'm going to do this either way because why not have ceiling fans in the hallway? But the question is this something that is so great I should just temporarily hook it up and use it? Or is it inconsequential and I can let this sit until, let's say, February? This would be a great project for February when nothing else is going on, because this is going to be very, very time consuming, because we have to patch some holes in the ceiling. I have to move these smoke detectors. I have to move the light into the middle. I have to rework the logic of the switches on the wall behind the camera. And I have to run a whole new circuit back to the box because the wiring in this hallway is just, it's gone. You can't use it. Let's see if I can get a picture of this. What's happened is the insulation has cracked off of the wires because the wires are so old, and yeah, it's not usable. So we're not even going to connect this mounting bracket to the box, nor are we going to use the wiring in the box because it's no good. I'm just going to screw it to the ceiling next to it. I have to patch a whole bunch of holes in the ceiling anyways. 2 more is not going to make or break the situation. And plus this has a mud ring on it, and the box itself is about probably in line with the top of the drywall. So it's not going to fit the fan bracket properly anyways. So the stud should be right about here because this is a side mount box. Unless there's a mount on this side. No, it's on this side. Now, technically, if we take this grounding wire and stick this on here like this should bond it, unless this is not hooked up properly, which is a possibility. Okay, now we'll go get the fan, and we'll put the fan up there. Actually, what we're also going to do is we're going to test both the long and the short downrods to see if it makes any difference in the performance. I also don't know what to expect in terms of if that will make a difference or not. I really just don't know. The fan is still fully assembled, just chilling on the floor in here. I want to get this off the floor before something happens. Yeah, it looks too low cosmetically, so I think if for no other reason than that, we will have to change it to the shorter rods. Yeah, that's way too low. It's about the height of the door frames. Doesn't look right in the slightest. As of now, I don't really intend to have lights on these things, but it's very possible that at some point I might. Okay, so I've got a plug here that we'll put the wires into. Common screws are such a pain. They just don't hold. Don't hold the screwdriver in place. This is so annoying. It might be easier just to use the bit by itself. Lower this down a little bit. It is remarkably windy today. Okay, so the high side is on the right. I should have done this before I put it up. Would have made it a lot easier. Okay, the plug is the attached, and there's no ground. Oh well. Don't touch it during operation. This is so mildly infuriating. I don't know why these aren't Phillips screws. They should be Phillips screws. Okay, the plug is attached. Now I need to go grab an extension and we'll see how we're gonna set this up, where we're gonna plug it. It's not gonna be sightly, but it should work. And if it works well, then it'll be worth it not being sightly. I got the cord. This one's orange. I can grab a white one if this is going to be up here long term. Why does this fit so tight? Ooh, that was a little tingly. Okay. All right, let's see what this does. I think that we're going to be running it on reverse. I think this one will be on reverse and then the second one will be on forward, but I'm curious to see, will this move any air on forwards? Interesting. So it does move, it does push air on forwards, but the airflow pattern is very inconsistent. So from like here to about here, there's no air, which makes sense because air can't get up there. From here to about here, there's good airflow, and there's good airflow right over here. It actually is pushing a lot of air into this room here, which is nice. It's kind of blowing out to the sides a bit because the air is not circulating properly. So, interesting. So if I come and sit on the floor here, I actually do feel air moving across the floor. It's not a tremendous amount, but it is there. And this is working a lot better than I expected. So now let's break the motor by reversing it while it's on. Oh gosh, the motor's just ruined. And now let's see what it does on reverse. I expect reverse to be a little more effective in this particular application. Because what we want to feel is we want to feel air coming back into the kitchen, which I do. I actually feel a tremendous amount of air coming back into the kitchen. So that's important, to grab the heat from the living room and recirculate it back into the hallway. Wow, I can't believe how much air this is pushing into the kitchen. And it's not even just across the ceiling. I can feel it throughout the room, which is not great because now there's a cold draft. But that's definitely exchanging the air very well with the kitchen. Yeah, that's quite strong. And then now, if we come down here, do we feel the air down here? Yes, we do. Huh, you know what? There is a very strong breeze. What was that? Was that the fan? There is a very strong breeze coming right into this room. Huh, I wonder if one of them by itself is going to be effective. I mean, we'll put the second one just for the sake of it, but we might not even need the second one. Wow, that's exceptional. So what I was previously doing was I had this fan here on the floor, and that would push the air down the hallway. The problem with this, there was two problems. Number one is it's noisy, and number two, it's on the floor, which is where the coldest air is. So it's pushing kind of like cold air down the hallway, you know, warmer than what's down here, but just not super effective. Plus it kicks up a significant draft on the floor where I am. You know, with this, the draft is up at the ceiling. With the ceiling fans, the draft is up at the ceiling. It's not as noticeable. And this is now pushing the heat from the ceiling around as opposed to the cooler air at the floor. So I think this might be extremely effective. I hope. It's offering a tremendous amount of promise based on the performance that we're observing right now. So we'll see. Of course, go figure, right now it's only 53 degrees out, so it's not very cold. There's not a lot of load on the heating system, but it'll drop down tonight and we'll be able to test it then. This is super quiet. Hardly audible. And yeah, if I come down into here, I actually can feel it all the way over here, which is pretty impressive. So, okay, I think this is going to work really well. Now, I guess we're also going to have to test it with the shorter rod and see if the performance remains the same. I would expect the performance to reduce on downdrafts with the shorter rod, but probably be comparable on reverse, which is how this is going to be used. Okay. Well, only time will tell, but for the moment, I think this is going to be a huge success and major reduction in noise, which is an added bonus.